Welcome to the Autosportradio.com 2019 show. I'm your host, Don Kay. We are live from McGilvery Speedway at 30th and High School in the beautiful town of Speedway, Indiana. And if you're in Speedway for any reason, it could be an upcoming NASCAR race or whatever reason you come in, you've got to stop by McGilvery's. It's only about 2.5 miles straight west of the Speedway. The servers are the best, the food is good, and the adult beverages are ice cold. Tonight's show is presented by Honda and Honda HPD, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, NTT IndyCar Series, and SVRA. A couple things I want to mention up front. First off, next weekend, Mid-Ohio. Yeah. I mean this weekend. I'm sorry, this weekend. It's this coming weekend. It'll be televised live on NBC, the network, at 3:30, but the qualifying will be on NBC Sports Network. And if you've got gold, you can watch all the practice, which I do and I watch. How many people stayed up to see the Iowa Corn 300? Me too. Yeah, me too. Did you like who won? Oh. Did you like who came in second? Oh, well, it was an interesting race. I'm glad I stayed up to watch it. I thought it was a good race, actually. And finally, they're televising back in the field. When the leader's out by himself, what's there to look at? Nothing. So they watched it, and there was a lot of good passes. It was a good race. Also, I want to mention that McGilvery's has some special nights. They've got bike night on Wednesday. So if you're a bike rider, come on in Wednesday night. They got special. You have a good time. And this Saturday night, Copycats will be in-house live. So if you're outside looking for a little entertainment, a good place to go, McGilvery's is it. And next week, it will be SVRA night. And joining me will be the president or the CEO of SVRA, Tony Perella, and some of the drivers that will be here will be Jimmy Kite, Jeff Brabham, some guy, William Theodore, but everybody knows him as Willie T. And there's a number of others that will be here, so come on in next week, we'll have a good time. And don't forget the upcoming race on August 23rd, 24th at Gateway. The Vintage Indy Registry will be there, and they're going to have a good number of over 25 cars. Be a fan-friendly weekend. You get to watch the cars run on the track twice, and it's well worth getting out there. The number 672 AAR Olsenite Eagle of Bob Jensen will be there. The 5679 Genesee Beer Wagon Penske PC7 will be there, and the number 183 AJ Foyt Calumet Farms March Cosworth will also be there. A number of drivers will be in attendance, and the least will probably be John Martin, I would suspect. So if you get a chance to get on out there, it's going to be a good race and see some good cars on the sidelines, so make sure it happens. Do you need a dentist? There's only one to go to. The Indy Dental Group, Dr. Jack Miller, best one in town. Call and make an appointment. You'll be glad you did. The number is 317-846-6125. Now my guest. The gentleman has been here before on the far end. He is a veteran of 5 years in Formula One. He started in karts and he's worked his way all the way up to the IndyCar Series. And this past weekend, he just missed the top 10, finishing 11th at a little teeny tiny track that I bet he'd never seen anything like before in his life. Please welcome Marcus Ericsson.
Hey guys.
And sitting next to Marcus is a man who's been here on a number of occasions, driving for Meyer Shank Racing, and he gave him their first podium finish at the IndyCar Grand Prix, finishing third. And where's your next outing?
This weekend.
That's what I thought. Mid-Ohio. Please welcome everybody's favorite, Mr. Jack Harvey. Yeah, I see she's going. Please welcome everybody's favorite, Mr. Jack Harvey.
I see you.
She was one of the ones when I said you were coming. Yeah, yeah.
Well, she's wearing the right colour. We love that pink. I see you.
Marcus, you spent 5 years in Formula One, and now you're in IndyCar, and a lot of the tracks you've never been to before. What was it like for you coming from road courses for 5 years, driving a 3/4 mile oval?
It was very difficult for sure. It was like nothing I've ever driven before. So the ovals was obviously the biggest challenge for me to get used to. The road and street courses are more, even though they are different here, I would say in America, it's still more similar to what I'm used to. But yeah, the ovals has been a big challenge, but it's been really positive. Like I really have got the hang of it in a good way, building up my confidence from the first test and onwards. And I'm still learning all the time out on the ovals, but I really enjoy it. I have a lot of fun, and I think that all 3 ovals I've been to so far, it's been really good weekends for me and for us as a team.
The track you're going to this weekend is probably something you'll have run similar tracks in Formula One and of course Mid-Ohio. It's a fabulous facility, beautiful place, great racing. It's a good place to go. How have you found the difference between Formula One and IndyCar? The biggest difference?
I think obviously the cars are very different. Today's Formula One cars are very advanced on the downforce side. So they have extremely much downforce, whereas the Indy cars with this new aero kit that they introduced for last year have less downforce. The cars are moving around a lot more, so as a driver you have to work really hard with the car all the time. It's constantly sliding the rears or the fronts, so it's really a tough car to be fast in, I would say. And also without the power steering, it's a very different feel when you drive. The Formula One cars obviously have the power steering, so it's a different feel to drive. You have to wrestle the IndyCar a lot more. So I think that's been the biggest thing on the car side. And then I think as a series, the fact that we have 20 plus cars every weekend within usually a second, it's really a super competitive series where everyone can win. Every weekend there will be, everyone has the same chance to win, whereas in Formula One, unfortunately, there is a couple of teams that can win. So that's a big difference, and for you as a driver, it's a really nice thing to go to a race weekend and know if I do everything right, I can be on the podium or even win the race.
What's it like teaming up with the mayor of Hinchtown?
It's fun. He's obviously a lot of fun off track, but he's also been helping me a lot. He's a very experienced driver, and he's been super helpful, super, easy to talk to. If I have questions, I know I can always go up to him, and he will give me an honest and good answer. So he's been really helpful, especially on the ovals, and I've been leaning a lot on his expertise on all the ovals, and at the same time, I think we've had a really good working relationship within the team, so the atmosphere has been really good, and we really sort of push each other and push the team forward. So that's been really, really good.
Jack, I understood you just were on a trip somewhere just recently in your off time, and I forgot what I heard, but where were you and what was that all about?
I think I just went back to the UK. Just had a couple of weekends off and went and surprised my mum. It was her birthday, and thought it was a nice present to go back and knock on the door and be like, hey!
Somebody said that you were invited to participate in something. I thought that's what...
Okay, so... So this was cool. I'll admit, I'm not the biggest golf fan, but I got invited to the British Open, which, if you like sports, that's such a bucket list event. I was in Indianapolis Airport. I was trying to fly to Philadelphia to take my trip, and there was a really bad storm that got to Philly, and then the backlog of flights meant I couldn't get to Belfast in time for the event, so I actually didn't get a chance to go. So that was a bit of a bummer, but I ended up staying up until about 2 o'clock in the morning to watch these guys race at Iowa, so silver lining maybe.
Yeah, I was up too. They put the live IMSA race on. They were going to delay it and show it delayed and show the IndyCar. But when IndyCar did go, they showed the IMSA race. And when it was done, this time that they had for the IMSA replay, they showed IndyCar. So I stayed up until 2:30. I watched a couple of the interviews, and then I said, that's enough of this. What was, you're going to Mid-Ohio. Are you guys, I know, the team is moving forward. You guys are making progress. Meyer Shank Racing is not a bunch of dummies. They know what they're doing. They're giving you a decent car. You got 10 races this year. Is there a chance that you may get the whole season next year?
Certainly that's what we're working towards. I mean, we did, the program has expanded. We did 6 races last year. We did 10 races this year. The natural progression for us, hopefully, is to do a full season in 2020. Looking towards Mid-Ohio, it was the track I got my first win at in North America back in Indy Lights. It's Michael's home race too, being a Columbus boy, so I think the way we're looking at it now is, hopefully a couple of good outings in our next 3 races, which are going to be in Ohio, Portland, and then Laguna will maybe just be the final nail in the coffin at pushing us over the edge to get into that full season. And everybody's working extremely hard. Both sets of teams in MyShank Racing, Arrow Schmidt Peterson Motorsports, our sponsors in Automation, Sirius XM. We all know what the goals are. We're working incredibly hard to get them. As Marcus said, there's a great atmosphere and dynamic within the team right now. So seeing how much success the guys have had when we haven't been racing is hopefully just a really encouraging sign that when we do get back in the car, we can just keep the ball moving and rolling and have a great weekend.
How come Mike doesn't put you in the sports car?
Well, it's a question for Mike, really. I pretty much call him all the time and just like, when you put him in the Acura, dude? And he's like, well, and I'm like, no, I don't, tell me. And it's a fun conversation. I love racing with Mike, and it was actually fun. I watched the IMSA race, because, with obviously the rain delay, we watched that and had a great weekend in Lime Rock with, P2 and so close to winning, and watching Marcus be so successful in his first short oval. James got his first podium of the year. So just a successful weekend. I made cake pops. So while these guys were busy, they were busy racing, I was busy baking. So it's been a successful weekend all around for everybody, I would say.
Marcus, what prompted you to leave Formula One and come here? Was it a phone call from somebody, Sam call you up and say, hey, if you're not busy?
No, it was. I was obviously doing my 5th season on Formula One last year, and after the summer, for different reasons, I was not going to get a renewed contract with the Alfa Romeo team as a race driver. So I started to look at different options, and straight away I told my management that my preferred option was to go to America and IndyCar. It's always been a series I've followed since I was a kid. I remember watching it with my dad on Sunday nights when Kenny Brack was racing, and it was always, a big thing in Sweden. So I was always remember watching it and sort of having that dream to race IndyCar one day. So yeah, when my contract with F1 was not renewed, I straight away looked at options, and I actually myself made the first connection with Sam. I found I got his number through some contacts, and I gave him a call and said, hey, I'm keen to go to America and race, and that's how the conversation started. And then, a couple of weeks or months later, got the deal done, and here we are.
When you go home, do you get followed? Do they know at home what you were doing, how you're doing?
Yeah, obviously in Formula One, I built up quite a big fan base back home. So I didn't know what was going to happen. Moving to America, to IndyCar, is people going to still follow it? Are people going to, what's going to happen? But I have to say, the support I got this year from back home, it's been great. It's been growing even, and I think also the fact that Felix, a fellow Swede, is also coming over to IndyCar this year has been a very big boost for the interest back home in Sweden. So the races are all broadcast live, all the qualifyings are broadcast live in Sweden. So, and I hear as well from the company, the TV channel, that they have a lot of people watching it, even though it's late nights, usually on Sunday evenings in local time in Sweden. So the interest for IndyCar has been really big, and a lot of people have been reaching out to me saying, how great the racing is, how much fun it is to watch, and just again coming back to the fact that every weekend, no one knows who's going to win, and it's racing all the way through the field with great battles, and the way the cars are as well, it sort of invites for really good racing. So that's been, I think, a lot of people in Sweden have found a new interest in IndyCar.
Jack, do you get a lot of following at home from the press and the media?
What you guys have to understand is I come from a very small town in the UK, so throughout go-karting and my junior single-seater rise up to this point, I come from a small place, so we've always had good support, and I think in the UK there's such a motorsport heritage, whether it was for Formula One, but we've got Indy 500 winners who are from the UK too. So I think motorsport at its core, if you were to think of countries that almost immediately would jump off your head, the UK would be one of them. So I think there's great support for IndyCar, and honestly Marcus summed it up really well. The racing is so exciting. You have no idea who's going to win. You can put together a perfect weekend and a yellow could come out at the wrong time. vice versa, it could really come in your favour. And I think that level of excitement and that level of unknown is what makes a really great race. And I think the more people who are seeing it, the more eyeballs you get on it, the more that's just reinforced, because I mean we all know it, and we're just trying to spread the message and the word to as many people as possible.
Marcus, is this more fun racing? Do you like having to drive the car instead of power steering? You're going.
I mean, it's not like that.
Oh, you whistle when you drive it?
No, I mean, it's very different. I think, I like to race the IndyCar in a race is more fun, I would say, because, the balance is changing more, and, you have to, you can run close to other cars, and, that fact makes the racing a lot more exciting, I would say. I think on a single lap, like in a practice session, if you're on your own, the Formula 1 car with the amount of grip they have and everything is pretty impressive. So, you cannot, take away anything from that. It's a very impressive car to drive. But I think it's just two very different series. I don't like to compare too much what is better, what is worse. I think both series have a great sort of reason to be there, and I think I've been privileged enough to drive both, and at the moment I'm in IndyCar, and I love being here, and I want to stay because I think the racing is so much fun, and I'm just learning so much this year, and I really hope that I can stay and continue that.
Well, you only got a 1-year contract? What's the matter with Sam?
I know, right? Tell him.
Oh, I will. Thanks, Sam. One thing that I found when Formula One was here, I have a friend of mine who had a company in Europe called Schuko, and they're one of the biggest window replacement companies in Europe, they tell me. And I can't think of I think they sponsored McLaren, I can't remember who the driver was. And they put up a measly $50 million. I said, well, they must have the driver come to your meetings and your, never saw him. Well, you get into the garage. No, we didn't get anywhere. We don't get to see anybody. Whereas here, the gates open and, boy, look out.
Yeah, I mean, it's very different the way the series deal with fans and sponsors and the commitment from the drivers. In Formula 1, it's a lot more, the drivers are there for the driving, and it's a lot more intense that way, I would say. And then obviously the fans have very limited access to the drivers. We have, usually in Formula 1, you have, 15 minutes session of autograph session, where it's thousands of people trying to get an autograph, so usually you see less than 1% of the people there. So it's a very different atmosphere in the paddock because of it. And I think that's one of the great things with IndyCar, that you see fans everywhere in the paddock. You interact with the fans in a completely different way, and that's a really nice thing with IndyCar.
One of the things I found very interesting is I don't collect autographs anymore, but I go and watch the sessions, and when a driver recognizes somebody from another track, you got them. They get so excited, and I don't know if that's what you've experienced that yet or not, but I've seen that happen quite a few times. Oh yeah, I remember you from Pocono. Oh, and then you got them hooked. They're stuck. And it bothered me because I had credentials for Formula 1 here, but so what? I got up to the media center, and that was about it. You had to walk very carefully, or they'd come after you. So, welcome to IndyCar. Are you finding the fans are starting to recognize you and starting to chase you a little bit?
Not chase me, but yeah, for sure. I felt good support here, and
I've seen him sign some interesting things. I've seen him sign some interesting things. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. No, but I think the fan support has been great, and also especially here in Indianapolis, obviously with the history, you can really feel that, and you do get recognized a bit downtown and everything. I live downtown, and quite often people recognize you there. And it's nice, and also to see, like I said on the tracks, you get a lot more connection with the fans, because every time you walk out of the truck, there is also fans there. So I think that's a very nice thing.
You haven't signed anything unusual, I'm sure.
I was actually jealous that Mark has got to, because I haven't got anything fun to sign yet. I mean, some of the pictures that people bring are amazing, but nothing like what he's been getting to do. It's that blonde hair and the blue eyes, I guess. They love him.
There's an opening. What's it like? you got 10 races. There's 17 in the season. Do you go to all the events anyway?
Pretty much. I mean, if they're drivable, then I absolutely do. I think the first one I didn't go to this year was Texas and Toronto, and I didn't go to Iowa because I was going to go to the Open. But yeah, I mean, for as many as we can get to, it's nice just to go and, although we're not driving, be a part of the debriefing, listen to what Marcus and James are saying about the car, setup changes they're making, and honestly, just so that when it comes time for us to drive again, we're not feeling left out or we've missed something. Because frankly, the first, we did everything up to the Indy 500, and I think we had some really good momentum. Things were really progressing well, and I think everybody was very happy with our performances. The first gap we had off was Road America, and that for me was a challenging weekend. I'd never been to Road America before, but also the gap in the car that I didn't get a chance to drive. And the nice thing about coming to Mid-Ohio is a track that I do know quite well, obviously having raced there last year, so it's tough when you're doing a part of the races, but when you're teammates with James, needs no introduction. He's so popular and he's so good. It's easy to say good things about him. And from Europe, I had known Marcus for a long time. But this is the first chance I've got to work with him. And when you get that opportunity, you see why he was in Formula One for as long as he was, and he's going to be in IndyCar for just as long. So to have teammates like that and to be able to work with these people, for as difficult as it is only doing a few races, actually really does make my life a lot easier. So I'm in a maybe not a perfect situation because we're not doing the whole season, but I'm in a very lucky and privileged position to even be where we are.
Speak too nice, this guy, huh?
How much? Well, first off, do you guys make appearances for Arrow and Auto Nation? Do you make appearances for them?
They keep us pretty busy. Not like I don't know what this $50 million for no appearances. I need to get on that program because Auto Nation keep us very busy. And don't get me wrong, I love them and I appreciate you because you make this dream happen. But they keep us busy usually.
Yeah, and it's the same for me, obviously, with Arrow being our main sponsor. We do quite a lot of activations with them, and I go to Denver to their headquarters quite a few times already, and I'm going to go there a few more times before the end of the year. So, yeah, for sure. And that's part of it, that's part of the commitment, and also, to give something back for them being there for us. Without them, we would not be out racing.
Sure, you got to go to Denver. Oh.
Hey, it's worse places, huh?
Oh,
it's nice. I like that.
Fort Lauderdale for Auto Nation is tough. It's tough.
Have you been involved or been around when they've developed these cars, the one that Sam can legally drive on the street, and the one that Robbie drove this weekend? Do you see their program?
No, I have not at all actually. So I would like. I hear you can. Yeah, I can try the Sam car. They have a simulator for it, and then you can try the real thing. So that's something I want to try going forward. It would be interesting.
Yeah, it seems kind of strange. How do you control stop, start, turn a car with your head?
Yeah, that sounds crazy.
There's got to be so many things to do, but obviously you can do it. What did you think of Road America? I mean, that's a 4-mile road course. Is there anything in Europe that you've driven that was similar to that?
I think it reminds me a bit of Brands Hatch GP, which is one of my favorite tracks in Europe. A lot of flow, not so much runoffs. That sort of old school feeling, quite narrow. So yeah, I really enjoyed Road America a lot. I thought it was one of the best tracks I've been to, and yeah, it's a beautiful racetrack. And some tracks you just have that flow. You drive it and you have that flow when you drive, and it's just a nice feeling. And Road America was one of them. I think Suzuka has it. Brands Hatch has it. There's not many tracks in the world have it, but Road America was one of them. And I think Mid-Ohio can be it as well.
I think it'll be close, yeah.
I think so.
What about Coda?
Going to Coda, I think for me, Coda is probably the best of the new tracks that I've been to. Being a brand new track. I'm not a big fan of all these very big runoffs everywhere that they have on all the new tracks, and also Coda have it. But Coda, what is nice with that is they have a lot of high-speed content mixed with some very technical and twisty bits, and it's quite a nice mix. I think Coda would be amazing if they would put some more grass and gravel around, Just to make it a bit more of a penalty when you go off. You know, that first section of Coda with the flowing corners is just amazing to drive, but when they have asphalt next to the track, it sort of makes it a bit easier because you get away with mistakes, you know? And that's what I like with Suzuka. You know, the first sector of Coda reminds a lot of the first sector of Suzuka, but the first sector of Suzuka, you have a bit of grass and then a wall. So then it's a lot more tricky than having loads of asphalt run up. But I think it's great that IndyCar goes to Coda. I think it's a great facility. It was a lot of fans there for the race. It was a nice turnout, and the actual race was a great race. I thought. A lot of action. Obviously, the track invites for a lot of overtaking. So I think it's great that we go there, and I hope we will do it for a long time.
What's your favorite track so far?
In North America?
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't our best weekend for sure. But I mean, Road America takes some beating. Laguna Seca is a classic. You guys have here. Cota's cool. I do love Mid-Ohio. I know it has a special place because that's where we got our first win. But you know, as Marcus said, some tracks just really flow, and Mid-Ohio is one of them. Pretty much when you get in turn 4, pretty much from there to the exit of 9, if you're a little bit out of position, it affects you through each combo, and there's no runoff at Mid-Ohio, so Marcus is going to be thrilled because he's I understand what he says actually when you go to Kota, that you push so hard through some of these sections, and you push that hard because you know that you might spin or something like that. There's no harsh penalty. Mid-Ohio there's a harsh penalty, so we're not going to experience that. Because actually, fun story for you, side note, at Long Beach this year, we was walking through the fountain, and on the track walk, Marcus said, did anybody ever land in the fountain? And I said, no. And in the race, I landed in the fountain. So he's not allowed to talk these things into existence anymore, because he does that one time, and one time, last time, so you just got to say like good things, all the runoff, everything.
Yeah, you got runoff, but you also got wet.
I got some really nice pictures in the flowers. Nice. The sort of thing you'd put on your wall.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What prompted you to come to America? I mean, you did very, very well in Europe, and were a champion in a number of series. What made you want to come here?
I think there was a lot of factors and reasons. I think trying to get to Formula One like that, the path in some ways is pretty clear on what you need to do and the results you need to get. But the timing of being there, funding in the right place, the right team behind you at the right moment, is extremely difficult to navigate. And a lot of that is honestly being in the right place at the right time. We were a little bit unsure what to do at the end of my first year in GP3. We won races that year and we pushed hard to try and win the championship. We didn't, but we were fighting for it until the very final race of the year. And honestly, just a really well-timed call from Sam Schmidt. Really, I mean, he just called us and inquired about our program, and was like, well, we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do in Europe right now, and didn't know what path to go down. And he called us. I jumped at the opportunity. I think even though we've both come from a European perspective and background, something about North America, there's a pull to bring you here and try and compete in Indy 500, and it was too hard to say no to. And we had 2 good years in Indy Lights. Again, could have put championship seasons together, and for numerous reasons we didn't. We finished second both years, which is a kick in the nuts. But finally, we got our breakthrough into, just doing the Indy 500, and it's turned into this program now. So a lot of factors and reasons, but, I've loved the journey. I love living here. It's funny you were talking about seeing regular faces. There's so many people I recognise tonight, and I know we all think the 500 is special, but if people didn't come to events like this, we'd just be 3 guys just chit-chatting, So without fans to come to every race, to people watching on TV, to come and support us on nights like tonight, really just makes us guys driving around for fun. So thank you all for coming out. We really appreciate it.
Marcus, when you went out on the speedway, what did you think first off when you drove into the track and saw it for the first time?
It's massive.
Yeah.
So big. That was my first thought. Obviously, I'd never been here until I went there, I think the first time I went to Indianapolis when I had signed the contract with Arrow SPM. They took me to the speedway that day, and it was grey and rainy and windy and cold, but I still loved it. I thought it was amazing. We ended up in the, what do you call it?
The media side of the pagoda?
Yeah, exactly, and went up there and looked out on the track, and it's, yeah, I never realized how big the track was before, and then, yeah, just with the history and everything, it was just almost like you get the goosebumps, you know, so it was a special day.
What was it like the first time you went out?
Pretty crazy, yeah. It was, you know, again, with the history and everything, it just makes it very special. And also for me, obviously, it was my first. I'd done one test day before in Texas, and then we went into the month of May. So that was my only oval experience, was one day in Texas. And it was obviously a very steep learning curve. But I you know, loved it from the first lap, really. And I thought it was just an amazing month. It was, for me, it was my best racing experience in my life, the month of May, you know, and I just loved every second of it, and it was just such a special event, and also everything around it just makes it, yeah, super special.
So what did you think when you get out and you're running with cars, and you're looking at your odometer and it says, I'm going 230 miles an hour, and this nitwit's right here?
Yeah, that's pretty difficult at first, you know, to get the trust first for your car, you know, going down speeds, but then, like you say, running with other cars makes it a whole different thing. So for sure took some time, and I'm still sort of learning to get the timing right and everything when you race cars on the ovals, because it is very different to the road and street courses. But again, there, you know, with James, and also in the month of May with Jack and Oriole, I had a lot of experienced guys around me to help me, and we were running quite a lot of times out on the practice days as a team, you know, so all four of us would go out, and then I know I have guys I trust around me, so I could practice to sort of learn how to do it, and that was helping me a lot. So when I eventually got to race day, I was feeling comfortable, you know, driving around cars and sort of having the feeling of the car in dirty air and stuff like that.
You know, it's interesting, guys, when they start in the middle or back a little bit, when they start of the race, you don't realize how much stuff gets turned up. So you guys in the back, you got sand and whatever else in your face, you got to deal with that, and then try and see the cars in front of you and see that something doesn't happen. A lot of guys say, man, that got my attention, because that hadn't happened before until they got the race started. Whoa. Well, I'll tell you what, I appreciate, I've been chasing, and poor Veronica's put up with me to get you guys to come up here, and she said they're available on the 23rd. Done. So I appreciate you taking the time to come here. Jack has been here several times, and he keeps coming back. I'm not sure why, but fans are happy.
Keep asking me, so I'm happy to.
And I'm pleased to finally get you to come out, and wish you nothing but the best. You've shown that you have the talent. Just get the experience and look out.
Thank you very much.
And,
Thanks for coming.
Marcus Ericsson, Jack Harvey.
Thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it very much. My next guest is sitting over chatting with a very nice young lady, and there's a doctor in case he needs some medical attention. Thanks, Jack. So if he wants to come up here, if you're looking for insurance for your home, your car, your commercial property, do what a lot of people have done, and that is they go to VP Insurance in Speedway. VP will take care of you. They're located at 5004 West 16th Street in Speedway. You can call Mike Pardee, the owner, and when you get covered by Mike, he will be there to help you. His number is 317-248-0070. Call him, make an appointment, see what he can do for you. You're going to be surprised. You want to know what these guys and gals love about driving an IndyCar? Well, you can find out easily. You go to IndyRacingExperience.com and look a date up that you're available, and you can get yourself a ride in the car with maybe Mario or Ari Jr. or who knows will be driving you. You can call the office if you wish to talk to Shonda, but her number is 317-243-7171. And if you put it in the promo box when you go online at IndyRacingExperience.com, put SJ1, you get a 50% discount. So take a chance, take a ride. I guarantee you will love it. Stitches 2 in Gasoline Alley. It's the place to go if you need anything embroidered. It doesn't matter if it's a hat, shoes, shirt, jacket, anything at all. If you need it embroidered, they can take care of it. Call Fran. She loves to talk on the phone. Her number is 317-271-3444. My good friend Bill Throckmorton and his lovely bride Fluffy have a limousine. And if you would like to take a ride, you can do that. You can just give them a call at 317-820-3595. You can get them to pick you up wherever you are, get a group of 6 to 8, pick you up, take you for a tour of race shops and the Grand King shop, and they'll bring you back exactly where you started. So give them a call, 317-820-3595. I guarantee you will enjoy the heck out of the ride. And if Fluffy's around anywhere, it's even better. Do you like SVRA? Next week, SVRA people will be here next weekend, not this one, next weekend is SVRA week. You need to subscribe to the Speed Tour magazine. It's a top-class magazine. You just go to svra.com and subscribe to Speed Tour. You will love it. The next event coming up is the 25th to the 28th at the Portland Vintage Racing Festival in Portland International Raceway. If you're anywhere in the area, get out there. You'll love it. You'll have a good time, and it's a great race. Now, my next guest is a young man that I've probably known for, I don't know, maybe 20 years or so, something like that. I first ran into him when he was in the PR department at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but he's a graduate of Ball State University with a degree in journalism and public relations, and one of his first job, if not the first job, was in the Indiana House of Representatives, and volunteering in the media center at Lucas Oil Raceway, where he was later hired. And in '97, he accepted an offer at the Speedway, and he spent 13 years there, being harassed by me on occasion. He left there in '11 and took a job with the Indiana Railroad Company, and that may not have been the greatest thing, but when the IMS Museum had it off, I'm sorry?
It was good for a while.
Okay, for a little while. The museum was looking for somebody, and he took the job. He's now the media relations and social media communications director, and he contributes to the overall marketing promotion endeavors of the museum. I've known him a long time. He's a hell of a good guy. I'm surprised I got him tonight. Please welcome Eric Powell.
I'm not that in demand, Don, but thank you. I appreciate it. So.
When you were at Ball State, you got the degree in journalism and public relations. What was your idea? What did you want to do? Did you want to go racing? Did you want to go to, what did you really want to do? Go to the House of Representatives and listen to the politicians?
That was 1995. The job market was okay, not great. And that was a situation where a buddy of mine said, hey, there's an opening at the House of Representatives. You want it? I said, yeah, I'll go put my resume in because there was nothing else open at the time. So year in politics made me realize that I made a lot of good friends there, a lot of good people there, but I realized that maybe it's not for me. So sitting there at my desk one day and thinking about, it's probably the middle of summer, thinking about the 95 Brickyard 400 coming up or something like that. And I said, you know what? I grew up in Speedway, Indiana. I kind of know this business. Maybe it's time to start throwing my resume out there a few other places. And, Michael Lewis was running IRP at the time, and I applied for a job and, got the classic commentary that you get when you're right out of college. They said, you're going to do great, but we need more experience, so we're going to go hire this person instead. So I said, okay, well, how about if I come out and work with you for free all summer? Can I come out on Friday, Saturday nights and work at IRP, work in the media center for free? And free is good. And, when the job came open again later that year, I guess, you kind of put in the work, and they realized I was dedicated and got the gig, and I went from there. It's been a great career.
Was motorsports where you wanted to go? Were you interested in football or baseball or soccer or racquetball or anything like that?
Oh, I know racing more than any other sport. I love pro football. I love watching any kind of sport. I love sports in general, but I can talk race cars all day. So.
I found it interesting when I heard that you had left. I said, where the hell did he go? He went to work for the railroad. I said, say what? He likes railroads. I said, well, I guess that's the place to go.
My career's been like every 5-year-old's dream, you know, trains and race cars, and now all I got to do is go work at the airport, and I got the planes, and, you know, I mean, it's great.
Now, you're at the museum. You have a number of things on your resume that you do over there, but what is your primary job? What is it you do primarily?
It's hard to describe. I mean, I don't know. Marty, do we have an average day at the museum? I don't know. We don't. No, promotion's what I do, which, you know, today I was working on a press release. We're going to have an event, actually, I should talk about here tonight, is we're bringing the USAC guys back for another event. It's going to be right before the BC39, so I was writing a press release about that. Mel and Don Kenyon are coming. We're going to have Chad Boat and Michael Pickens and Chris Wyndham. 2 hours with those guys. And that's going to be right before the draw over at USAC headquarters on the 3rd, you know, for the BC39 before that gets started. So, you know, that, hey, breaking news, that press release will go out tomorrow. So I was doing that today. A lot of social media, just media inquiries, you know, just a lot of sitting down with, I know Dave Wilson's back there somewhere, manages our sales and sponsorships and partnerships, and you know, we've got a small team, but we all work together, and you know, it's my job to promote the deals that Dave puts together and help Jennifer Hyatt, you know, who does our membership and
Well, I
philanthropy.
don't know. I'm trying to get her, but she's always strangely committed on
Well,
Tuesday.
she has no excuse now. We made the rotation. It is her turn, so we'll get her here.
And the other thing I didn't realize is Dave stalking you by any chance?
I'm stalking Dave. I think he's here more often than I am. So.
Not? Well, the last time he came, he had a lovely lady with him, and I think that's the one I'm after.
Bravo, sir.
The current exhibit is the Mario Andretti exhibit,
Yeah.
and it's there until November, if I remember right.
November
So
10th.
you've got all that time. When you go to the museum to see this, you walk in the door, and at the desk there's this lovely blonde who's sitting right over there. You will see her. Just ask for Marty, and don't tell her I sent you, or she'll send you out the door. But how has the response been to that exhibit?
It's been phenomenal, to be honest. And, you know, Mario, we'll put it this way, Mario Andretti himself, at some point in May, we had a production company come in to do some additional, you know, recording with him, interviews with him just a couple weeks ago, and flew in from the UK. It's going to be a program on Mario that'll air on the Discovery Channel sometime first quarter of 2020. I'm not sure. They don't know when yet, so we'll find out. We'll promote that. But they talked to him and Patty Reed, his PR person, about, you know, well, maybe we do it at the museum, maybe we do it somewhere else. And Mario said, no, I want everything done at the museum. I want it all, everything, as long as that exhibit's up, I want to do all my interviews at the museum, as long as it's all there. I mean, he was blown away by it, and you know, during the month of May, a lot of support from fans, other race teams, but you know, Jason Van Sickle's our curator of vehicles, and you know, Mike Thompson, who handles the media side of it. They, you know, Jason and Mike did a great job, but just the variety of cars from Mario's career, the diversity that Jason was able to bring in for this exhibit was just phenomenal. You know, you walk in the glass room, as we call it, and you know, here's his Formula One winner. I mean, the car that clinched the championship in '78. There it is on the right. On the left is the car that Darrell Waltrip now owns. AJ Foyt drove it in '71, and back in '67, Mario won the Daytona 500 with it. And then you got, you know, Mario's rookie car. You got obviously the winner, the Barner Hawk. Sitting next to it is one of the Lotus 64s that, you know, like the one that he should have drove. And then you have a couple beautiful Camaros sitting there too. So it's quite a, you know, it's a collection.
You know, the interesting thing is he's one of the few guys that 50 years after he won, he can still get in and out of the car.
Oh, he's in great shape.
Yeah.
I mean, good grief. If I can be that kind of shape when I'm fit.
Well, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I just get bigger shirts so it looks like I'm, you know.
12-ounce curls.
There you go.
Yeah, you'll get there.
You know, on a daily basis, what is it? Do you go out and talk to people? Do you go through and see? Hello. Oh, there we are.
There we go.
Who's looking at what? Or do you sit in your office and think of something to write?
I end up spending more time in the office than I want to be honest. But I mean, I guess it's a good problem to have. We just have a lot to do. A lot of, it's, this museum is not, for so many years, 50-some years, it was like a private collection in a public setting. Mr. Holman did a great job of collecting, buying, trading for, having cars donated over the years. We've got 300 plus cars in the collection, Tony Holman is responsible for a lot of that, and almost all of it, I should say, him and Carl Kaiser, and it's a phenomenal collection, and the main thing is that it's not a matter of keeping everything in the basement, keeping everything at the other storage areas. We want to show it off. And that's the direction we've been going for a number of years now. I mean, again, Dave Wilson and Betsy Smith and other folks on the staff, they've taken this from a place that it sat there fairly stagnant, and just a nice row of cars to look at. And now we have a lot of programming going on, and a lot of events coming up this fall, next spring. It's all about turning over the exhibits about twice a year, and then having a lot of other programming too, and keeps us busy. I'd love to be down on the floor more often. I'd love to just walk around and look at the thing. Every time I go and look at a car, look at an exhibit, I learn something new, and but we're busy.
Is the replacement exhibit known and being worked on now to round up whatever cars you need?
We were discussing that today. What do we need to do, or what can I say tonight? It's going to be a phenomenal exhibit. The theme of it is from the vault, and what that basically means is, a lot of people talk about, the basement has become something that's kind of, mystic. You think you walk down there and there's fog on the floor and, music, and it's and there's some really cool stuff down there. There's a lot of there's some rare items, but the idea with from the vault, I think the best way to describe it is, we're going to bring some of the basement upstairs, and really the reason we want to do this is to show that as we get more into a mode of having a capital campaign, hopefully here in a couple of years, taking the building that is still very 1976, and it needs new heating and air conditioning, it needs new electricity, lighting, everything, and then hopefully expanding out from just that building as well. We'd like for this exhibit to say, here's what we can do. Here's the kind of things that we could have on display all the time. Here's, think of all the kind of programming we could do. More educational opportunities, from kindergartners up to, through college and other special groups. And, the idea really is that, we want to be able to expand this museum in a big way in a few years. And, this is the kind of thing that we could have all the time.
The thing though that's interesting, first time I went in the basement was in the mid-'70s with Charlie. I forget his name now. Charlie was took care of the track, and he said, "Come on down, you got to look at something." So we went downstairs, got to see the cars, and of course I wandered around. I went down there about a year and a half ago. Geez, right? There's more cars now than there was, and they're piled in there. The thing that I find interesting, when you go to the museum, you don't see the same cars because they rotate them.
Yeah.
But if you put them all out, now they're there, you see them, why come back?
Well, that's the idea there. I mean, we're never, even if you expand the museum to where we want to go with it, I mean, we have about 35,000 square feet of exhibit space now. I think the building altogether is about 90,000 square feet, but that's, upstairs, offices, all that stuff.
That's where Dave Wilson has his digs.
Yeah, I think Dave's office is about 25,000 of that, something like that. But, even if we do what we would like to do, which is really gut the existing building, just new everything, including the state-of-the-art technology. I mean, interactive, technology that just shows off how cool racing really is. 4D technology. The idea would be to have a cafe, so people don't actually have to walk miles away to get food. Titus is right there now. Maybe they run the cafe. That's not for me to decide, but that would be great. And then education, classroom like education facilities, and then also bring in the restoration department. So those guys aren't working out of a tiny little cinder block building. And folks could actually watch them do their magic on these cars, and then just have some more exhibit space. So, really, even if we got everything we wanted, it's a big number to do what we want to do as far as donations and capital. But if we do everything we want to do, we're still not going to be able to put the whole collection out at once. And the idea is to have a theme, with an exhibit every 6 months, and you got to leave a few things behind the curtain for sure.
Well, I tell you what, if you're running a little short on money, Marty has some extra. I've been told she has a few bucks, stashed. If you need a little help, just ask her. She's a nice lady. But I would step back a couple of steps before you said anything.
So you better run. You better take that door tonight. You better go out the back door.
I understand that on Legends Day next year, there's going to be a historic exhibition. What's that about?
Historic racing exhibition?
Well, I would assume so.
Yeah. Well, we've done that every few years. So
next year. So what does that entail?
That is, we have vintage cars. That's been going on for a number of years. With it goes over Carb Day and then into Saturday as well. And it's those are the it's an annual. It's become kind of an annual tradition with the museum. You have all these guys that bring in vintage Indy cars primarily from all eras. From pre-war up until 1990s. And they get an opportunity to, they want to go out and drive on the track, of course. They have a couple events at the Speedway after hours. But just seeing some of these old, especially a lot of the guys seem to love, the 60s, 70s era stuff. And, it's a great event. So it's high-end car collectors, a little bit out of my budget at this point in time, but cool cars, though. A lot of history.
Betsy will take care of it.
Yeah. Or Marty will.
Oh, Marty definitely will.
Yeah, right.
To me, it's fun to go through there. The cars that are there are phenomenal. Did you get to see or spend any time out when they had that Champ Car endurance race?
I did. I was. I snuck out. I had my 13-year-old son knows more about supercars and sports cars, and he's getting there on Indy cars more than I probably ever will. And even my 13-year-old, my 10-year-old out there with me, and they I snuck them over to Victory Podium, and we watched for a while. And my son was particularly drawn to the Supra that was making laps, and it was a very eclectic group of cars. It was cool to watch.
The thing that I found interesting because they tell me they've been trying to get this program, and it's the first road endurance race that's ever been run Speedway. Mm-hmm. And it took them a couple of years to put the program together, and when they announced that it was coming, he told me that in 19 minutes they had 103 entries.
I believe it.
They jumped on it. When he put it out to the membership, boom, they were there.
Well, and we have, think about how many entries there were for the BC39 last year. That was a USAC record. I think it was, 118 entries or something like that. It was incredible. Ferrari challenges this weekend. They'll have a lot of entries. SVRA will have a lot of entries next week. So it's there's definitely I can joke about the mystique of the basement and the fog and everything, but the truth is that the Speedway has that mystique every day.
It's amazing, and the thing I found interesting at the endurance race, I saw this Corvette sitting there, and I said, "Wonder who the hell's got that?" It's Doug Bull's car. What's he doing? He drove.
Why not? Hey, the guy's got a license. He's pretty good.
Years of experience.
Yeah. Funny story. My first day on the job at IRP was actually a Sunday. I just went out there to meet some of the staff. This was 1996, and one of the first people I met, probably the second person I met out there, was this guy that was driving a Super V around on the road course that day. Gets out of the car, and Mike introduces me to the mayor's deputy, Doug Bowles. So, that was 24 or 23 years ago. So.
Yeah, I didn't know who Doug was, and they were down at 16th Street Speedway. And I said, I want to get the mayor on the program. How do I do that? I said, go see him. I said, who's he? That's his press guy. His name is Doug Bowles. So I went over and talked to Doug, told him what I was doing. I already had the program going. And he said, yeah, I heard about it. Like the mayor.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, I had the mayor.
There you go.
Doug didn't show up, though. I didn't understand that.
He's probably setting up his next gig. So, I think it's safe to say Doug's done it all. Truly, it's pretty amazing.
He appears everywhere, including here every so often. Time for me to get after Mark, and Jace, because it takes a while to get them, so I got to start now. How big a staff do you have currently at the museum?
I'll probably get this wrong. If I say full-time, maybe a dozen, something like that. We have a lot of volunteers as well. I mean, Marty is full-time. We have several people that are full-time in terms of running the front desk and the tours, and our supervisor for the museum hosts. And then we have a huge core of volunteers, or not volunteers, but part-time. That do a wonderful job. But upstairs, we're pretty much departments of one at this point in time. I'm the communications person. Dave handles sponsorship. Jennifer handles philanthropy and membership. Obviously, Betsy, executive director. And then we have an accountant. We have a grant writer. We have someone who manages our events. Kelly Hartman, who I was going to maybe be here, works for both Jennifer, and she has a couple of different jobs. So it's we are, none of us are bored. That's for sure. It's a very busy place, but again, it's about growing to the point that we have to start hiring more staff, and that'll be a good problem to have.
We got to discuss the tour supervisor. Some guy by the name of Mike Smith. I think that's his real name. Oh, hell no. Are you kidding? I've known Mike for over 30 years. He started out with Mel Kenyon, actually.
He's one of our bigger entrepreneurs. He does a great job coming up with ideas on how to do do different things for the tours, like our golf cart tour. You pay $50, and it's a host and like 5 people, and they put you on a golf cart, and you get an hour and a half trip around the inside. I mean, anything you want to know, any question you want to ask. And that was one of his. I think Marty, was that one of his ideas? Yeah. And he even got one of the golf carts painted up to, I wouldn't say look like, because it's a golf cart, but it resembles Jim Clark's Lotus, 65 winner. So it's pretty cool. He does a great job, and that's the kind of spirit you got to have at the museum to come up with these ideas and implement them, and appeal to our customers.
And when they came up with some of these ideas, Marty said, "That's good. Why don't you go on the bus so he can get away?"
Say that again now?
I say Marty wanted him to go on some of the bus tours and drive himself, so he wouldn't be there. He'd be gone for a while.
Well, I don't know what to do. Staying out of that one.
I just made that. I've known Mike for 30 years.
Yeah.
Good guy. By the way, when you get to the office tomorrow, ask Dave Wilson about how he does when he plays spoons. Ask him about it. It's a real interesting story. You'll love it.
Okay, we'll go there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Don't tell him I said anything about it.
You might have given yourself away already.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
He's not looking real happy about this. Anyway, the Mario show is there until November the 10th. If you haven't been there, I highly recommend it. It's a spectacular one.
I had a whole list of events coming up that I was supposed to talk about today. I'm going to get in so much trouble now because this has been a great conversation, honestly.
Well, you didn't tell me I got a list.
I'm a PR guy. I got to promote stuff, right?
Well, hurry up.
Okay. Yes, sir. Anyway, no. Okay, real quick. Yeah. How many museum members do we have in here? A few? Any? Couple? We need more than this. My gosh. Thank you very much. appreciate it. So,
by the way, if you're looking for money, there's a guy right there.
exactly. Thank you.
Oh,
No, with we've got a lot of stuff coming up, but we just had our Fuel Up Fridays. Kyle Kaiser was awesome. Actually, we've got Jack Harvey there. And Roberto Guerrero's coming next week during SVRA. So that'll be a good one. And that's members only stuff, guys. So you gotta, just $75 a year. It's well worth it. Get a lot of benefits. But Cars and Coffee, we're doing that right now. If you guys have not been to Cars and Coffee before, second Saturday of the month, it's free. And just show up, and the variety of cars that we're getting to this event these days is just phenomenal. I think last year we averaged maybe 200, 250 for every one of them. We had 580 cars at the April Cars and Coffee, and then just this past 2 weeks ago we had about 350. I think in April everybody was just ready to get out because it was so cold before, but everything from Lamborghinis to Studebaker pace cars to pre-war to, you name it. Had a Ducati show up last week, a rare one. So that's a good fun event. The memorabilia show is going to be on a Cars and Coffee weekend in September. What date is that? I have that here somewhere. September 14th. So again, free Cars and Coffee, and then come out, pay $10, get in, and go to the memorabilia show, buy some cool stuff. One event I especially better talk about for Jennifer's sake is the Shop Tour Series. We've gone to actually the Schmidt Peterson shop already, and Delara Factory. That's one where it's again members only, but you can sign up. You can become a member and then also go on the event. But we're doing a little different this time. We're going to Don Schumacher Racing out in Brownsburg. So. You can see how they, put together all these 11,000 horsepower fire-breathing dragons. You'll see out at IRP here in a couple months, but or less than a couple months. But so that's coming up. That's August 20th. So just got a lot of stuff going on. There's stuff almost every weekend at the museum right now, and you guys know how to find the website, but it's
the website is
IndyRacingMuseum.org. Thank you for the time there. I appreciate that.
IndyRacingMuseum.org.
Yes.
Okay, so you're an organization.
We are a not-for-profit, 501c3. Yes.
Not-for-profit? Jeez. How do they pay if they don't make a profit?
I just I get my paycheck. That's all I care. So.
Well,
I'll take out and handle the rest of it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking the time and letting everybody know what's going on there. I think it's an interesting place, and I've got to get a hold of Patty Reed and see if Mario will come back. He was here one night. In fact, I had Mike Lewis here a couple weeks ago. You did know that he's elected into the NHRA Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no surprise there. Actually, one of the ideas, we also have our Distinguished Speaker Series, which was phenomenal in the spring. I mean, we had Mario and then Scott Dixon, Chip Ganassi together, and then Tony Stewart earlier. We're going to announce the fall lineup for that here pretty soon. One thing we were trying to do is get Mario to come back because for his event, we used to have just limited it to 75 people, and then we bumped it up to 100. And then for Mario, we put it up to 150. We sold it out, but then opened it up for 150, and we still had over 100 people on the waiting list who couldn't get in. So. We'd love to bring him back this fall. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but we'll have a good lineup for that regardless.
Well, I thank you for coming, telling everybody what's going on, and like I said, don't miss going to the museum. You got to see the Mario show. It's really a good show.
Yep.
And if you're lucky, Doc might be wandering around. You can say hello to him while you're there. And if he has a lady next to him guiding him, because he gets lost, that'll be better.
I'll give him a VIP. I'll give him a tour next time myself. We'll make sure they'll be fine.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you
Looking
again.
forward
Appreciate
to
it.
seeing you at the museum. And give my regards to Betsy.
We'll do that. Thank you again.
Eric Powell. Don't forget, next week, from SVRA, Tony Perella, Jimmy Kite, Jeff Brabham, and Willie T. And Willie T's got a movie out. If you haven't seen it, you need to go see it. It's called Uppity. I'm going to put a link to it on Facebook and my Facebook, Don K, or my Autosport Radio Facebook, I'll put a link on. You can see the trailer on it, what it's about. It's kind of interesting. We'll get to talk to him about that. Probably won't be able to shut him up, but that's Willie T. Well, until next week, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching and listening. Until next week, Don K saying good night.